Welcome to White Paper Podcasts, where our hosts Heather and Andre discuss a wide variety of white papers and scientific studies, making them easy to understand through an informative and entertaining format. In today's podcast, Andre and Heather discuss and analyze the insane work ethic of serial entrepreneur Elon Musk. This podcast lasts approximately 7 minutes.
Hey there, ready to dive in?
Absolutely.
Today we're tackling someone who needs no introduction. Elon Musk.
Right.
We'll be dissecting this YouTube video you sent over, the one where he talks about his work ethic, his take on risk, and that whole finding your purpose thing. And let me tell you, from the lips of your notes on entrepreneurship and big ideas, I think this deep dive might just hit the spot.
It's certainly a topic that sparks a lot of conversation.
That it does.
Yeah.
Now, we both know Musk is the driving force behind Tesla SpaceX, even those Neuralink brain chips that seem to be everywhere these days.
It seems like it, yeah.
But what's really fascinating is what makes him tick. What drives a guy to build electric cars, dream of colonizing Mars, and tweet about dog-themed cryptocurrencies all seemingly at the same time?
It's an interesting question, and this video offers some potential insights, particularly when it comes to Musk's approach to work.
Yeah.
The stories about his extreme work hours are almost legendary. Did you hear about the time he practically lived at the Tesla factory?
Yeah, I read about that. It was during a production crunch, right? Apparently he was sleeping on the factory floor, pulling 80 100-hour weeks. There was even that anecdote about his girlfriend having to sleep in the office just to spend a little time with him.
Wow.
It makes you wonder, is that dedication or obsession?
It's certainly intense, and as you might imagine, not without its downsides. In the video, Musk even admits that his work style isn't something he recommends. He actually describes the experience as painful.
Really?
Yeah. You have to consider the potential for burnout both for yourself and the people you work with.
That's a really good point. So is it all worth it? I mean, on the one hand, you have someone achieving incredible things, pushing the boundaries of technology and innovation. On the other hand, you have to wonder about the sustainability of it all. Have you ever found yourself pulled in that direction, feeling so absorbed in a project that you lose track of everything else?
It's a feeling many driven individuals can relate to, that all-consuming passion for your work. But Musk's approach raises a critical question. Is this level of intensity truly necessary for success? Or is it possible to achieve great things while also maintaining a healthier balance?
It's interesting, though, because while that level of intensity might not be sustainable for everyone or even healthy, arguably, there's this other side to Musk that really stood out in the video, his attitude towards risk. He seems almost comfortable with it.
Absolutely. He actually draws this really interesting analogy in the video, comparing taking risks to playing baseball.
Yeah, the batting average analogy, right?
Exactly. He says that instead of waiting for the perfect pitch, that one guaranteed home run, you should aim to maximize your at-bats. Swing at more pitches, even if it means striking out a few times. It's about taking those calculated risks to increase your chances of hitting a home run.
And this ties in with the whole fail, fast fail, often mentality that's so prevalent in Silicon Valley, wouldn't you say?
Precisely.
Yeah.
It's a mindset that embraces failure, not as an endpoint, but as a learning opportunity. Musk seems particularly adept at this, taking those lessons and iterating, constantly pushing forward. He even shared that anecdote about showing videos of his rockets exploding to a friend who was concerned about his investment.
That's a pretty bold move. Most people would shy away from showcasing their failures like that, but for Musk, it seems like it's all part of the process.
Exactly. And it highlights a key difference in perspective. While many dread failure, Musk seems to view it almost as a data point, a necessary step on the path to success. It makes you wonder, how would that kind of outlook change things in other fields? What if we were all a little less afraid to experiment and embrace those early missteps?
It's definitely something to think about, but it also takes a certain kind of personality, right? Not everyone has the stomach for that level of risk, especially when it comes to things as high stakes as rockets and electric cars.
You're absolutely right. And that's where Musk's personal philosophy comes into play, which seems to go beyond just building companies or disrupting industries. It's this grander vision, this desire to tackle these huge existential questions.
You're talking about his goal of making humanity a multi-planetary species, right? Colonizing Mars and all that.
Exactly. He talks about the vastness of the universe, the need for humanity to become a spacefaring civilization to ensure our survival. And these aren't just abstract ideas for him. He's actively working towards them. It's this deep-seated sense of purpose that seems to fuel his drive and willingness to embrace risk.
So it's more than just rockets and electric cars. It's about pushing the boundaries of what's possible, tackling these big, almost philosophical questions about humanity's future.
Precisely. And he even talks about how that sense of purpose should translate to our everyday work.
Right. He said something like work should be more than just solving problems. It should be inspiring, exciting, something you love doing.
Yes. And it makes you wonder, what would it look like if more people approach their work with that kind of passion and drive? What kind of impact could we have?
I love that question. It's a little daunting too, though. It makes you really examine your own motivations. What are those things that get me fired up, that make me feel like I'm working towards something bigger than myself?
Exactly. It's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day grind, but Musk's perspective reminds us to step back and reconnect with those deeper motivations.
It's like he's saying, don't just find a job, find your mission.
Yes, and while not everyone is going to be building rockets or colonizing Mars, we all have the potential to contribute something meaningful.
I'm feeling inspired even if I'm not quite ready to pull an all-nighter at a factory just yet.
Well, hopefully we can glean some wisdom from Musk's experiences without resorting to those extremes.
Huh, exactly. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I think we've uncovered some pretty fascinating insights into the mind of Elon Musk. We've talked about his relentless work ethic, his comfort with risk-taking, and his unwavering belief in pushing the boundaries of human achievement.
And perhaps even more importantly, we've explored how those aspects of his personality connect to a larger question: finding purpose and meaning in our work.
So here's a final thought for you to ponder. If you had the opportunity to work on something truly world-changing, something that both terrified you and felt deeply meaningful, would you be willing to embrace that Muskian level of dedication, that relentless drive to make it happen?
It's a question worth considering.
It certainly is. And with that, we'll leave you to dive a little deeper into your own thoughts. Until next time, keep exploring.